All right, so you saying things about Tia Mowry? I mean, I'm cooking, got stuff on my face and stuff, but I was in there cooking some lamb chops. Ugh. But Tia Mowry. So apparently Tia Mowry, a lot of people were stereotyping her new boyfriend. He was a YN because he had dreads, and mainly that was black people stereotyping him. But then again, these the same black people who said we should be able to wear locks and get the same opportunities. We should get the same opportunities while wearing locks. But the number one thing about that whole situation is that we stereotype each other more than everybody else stereotype each other, us in general. So I just know for a fact that you know just because he got locks, it don't mean that. Now, a word around the water cooler, rumor is his ex. I'm just saying allegedly is going out there. She jumped on social media, and the ex pretty much said that, um, you know, Tia Mowry stole him from her. So he's an art teacher. He's from like East Cleveland or something like that. Shout out to Cleveland. It's the thuggish, rugged bone. And you know, the thing about it is she did the chick thing that what was it Jeff Bezos' wife did when she got with the science teacher. This is her child's teacher. So this is her child's teacher. He's an art teacher, so obviously he does art on the side. His ex basically said that, I know he got two kids. I don't know how many he got with the ex allegedly. It's saying that Tia basically stole him from her. And, she basically went on social media to get some of that clout. So for the most part, he's 35, she's 47. And I always tell y'all, when they move on, they never do better. And a lot of times, a lot of these women, they like to go younger because it's a control factor. You know what I'm saying? It's a control factor. That's what people don't understand. A lot of these women, they like to control. They like to control guys, and that's why they go younger. It really was no leveling up for Tia Mowry. Corey Hardrick was as good as it's gonna get. Like the majority of females, their husbands, that's the best they can do. Because if they could have did better, they would have married better. You know what I'm saying? And she was saying she had been in that relationship for so long that she basically just got bored. He didn't cheat, he didn't beat her or nothing like that. And so be it. You want, hey, you wanted something different, so be it. But I've told y'all, a lot of times people, they get with other people based off proximity. Back in the day, you used to can meet your wife at work. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you used to can meet your wife or your potential husband or boyfriend or whoever, fiance. You used to be able to meet them through friends, through social groups and social clubs and all that type of stuff. Now, you really can't do that. Now that we not as connected as family no more, we not as connected. The friendship is more digital, if it's that. You can't flirt with nobody at work because women just took advantage of that at the workplace. So for the most part, it doesn't surprise me that she was this was her alleged daughter's teacher and she stole them. It ain't that many great eligible dudes out there, according to women. It's not that many of them. So they're not going to be honest. They're going to share dick. She's sharing dick. You think this 35-year-old man with two kids is just going to be exclusively dicking down Tia? No, she got back on the pendulum and she gonna share that. She gonna share that dick, and that's just what it is. She didn't level up. She fell back. She leveled down, and that's just a reality. As a man, if you can survive a divorce, a lot of men, they level up, not because the volume of women, it's them getting peace and finding tranquility and finding balance within how they want to live their life, and that's what it is. But for women, them leveling up, it's not a level up. He using her for clout to get his art off the ground. He gonna be giving dick to his ex. He gonna be giving dick to Tia, and that's just what it boiled down to. That's just what it boiled down to, and I just don't think women, they understand exactly how it go. They understand that they gonna share the men. They gonna share men, but you be like, a lot of them, they share them. They act like they down. It happened to Michael Blackston. They act like they down with you, right? But ultimately, they get in a relationship. Akon too. You'll get them in a relationship, okay? and y'all will be in a relationship, and then she'll stick around, she'll get married, and then she said, "Well, I don't really like the arrangement no more," and they're gonna take half. You know, they're gonna take half. That's a fact. They're gonna take half. This is why you can't go for, oh, we don't do the oh, no pre. When you got to make them sign a prenup, everything you want in that prenup, putting it in there. Put it in there however you want to do the prenup. That's a fact. Because ultimately, that's gonna let you know if they really want to be with you. But a lot of these women that play the long game and they just be with you and they agree with sharing you. But then as soon as they can get the money, get that money from you, they gonna get the bread for you. That's a fact. They've been playing the pull the rug from under your feet all the time. Dudes think they got it like that. They've been cheating before they got married, doing the marriage. They be doing it, and then they flip the script on them. That's been going on. So for the most part, he just using her. She wasn't getting nobody nowhere on her level, nowhere on there. He using her for clout. He using that to get the art off the ground. He using her for her resources. And be honest, the ex probably in on it too. They gonna use her as a come up. She said, "Diddy, she dumb, all dinky, the whole nine." And they do shit like that. Fuck the teacher, fuck the bar, anybody in that proximity. That's how people really get. That's how people really get the people's proximities, people that you get to know, where people not really having social skills where you could strike up a random conversation at Dunkin' Donuts. You can strike up a random conversation at the gym. You don't really have that no more. Don't really have that no more, especially if you ain't been in a dating game. You don't really have that. You don't really know how it is. People can't strike up a social conversation because if it go left and somebody just act like an asshole, people don't know how to really regulate it, or they don't really know how to flip it. So, you got so many people that's assholes, that's dicks, that don't want to hold casual conversations. So, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. Women are going to say, well, she won. She didn't win. But in their mind, it gives them a fairy tale today. Hey, I'm in the same position. Hey, maybe I can get a young guy. And they get young guys to fuck their lives up. That's what they do to control them. She did all this to leave her husband, who was a stand-up individual, stand-up man, never spoke bad about her in this whole conversation. And all she do is embarrass you. That's one thing about women, man. Women will embarrass you. And women don't mind embarrassing themselves. They just don't want the man to embarrass them. They draw the line at the man embarrassing them. She don't draw the line at all the thirst traps she putting on her social media or her being half naked. She don't draw the line, or not her, but they don't draw the line talking about their sexual experiences, getting trains with them. They don't draw the line with putting their family experience, but they draw the line where men are so embarrassing. If he doesn't know, that's where they draw the line at. But hey, it is what it is, or it is what it ain't. Hit the link in the description, join the Patreon.